All right, welcome to another Witchpolice Radio Quick Hit. It's a quick conversation with a local artist or a local band that's doing something cool. And I'm here with a band that I haven't had on the show before, although one member has been on in the past. And I just want to start off by congratulating you on an awesome band name. That the spelling and the pronunciation of it is great. I laughed the first time I heard it. I laugh every time now. I'm kind of laughing thinking about it right now. And so I think the best way to get this started is if the three of you who are here would like to introduce yourselves and just give a bit of background about what you do in the band.
All right.
Sure.
I guess I'll start. If you can hear me okay.
Yep.
So, yeah, we have me, which is on guitar. We also have, I'm going to show off for Ian right now.
Okay.
This is Ian.
Okay, so for the people listening to the podcast-only version, it's a puppet, or maybe a sock with sunglasses on. It's hard to say. Does that qualify as a puppet?
Oh, yeah.
I would say so.
Okay, it's a puppet. All right, now that's your drummer. So your drummer is a sock puppet. All right, who else we got?
Renee?
I'm Renee. I slap the bass. I do a little singing, and I just generally have a pretty good time doing it. So
Cool.
And I'm Devin. I play guitar and sing in the group as well. And I guess collectively we're all sort of songwriters too. So it's hard to say that any of us are like lead songwriter or vocalist or anything. So we all do a lot. Yeah.
And who chose the band name, first of all, Fuck Off, which is, very clever. Who came up with that? Where does the name come from? It's great.
That was Leanne.
Okay.
definitely Leanne, yeah.
Basically what started off was I wanted Foo Cough, like
Okay.
F-U and then cough. And then Ian was like, just hyphenate it.
Well, the apostrophe is a nice touch for sure. So the reason that you're here today is because you have a new song and a new video that is very specific to the pandemic. One of the issues that bands have had that I've been interviewing on the show over the past couple months is trying to find a way to remain creative or even release anything during this bizarre time that everyone's going through. And you have not only released something, but it's thematically, song-wise and video-wise related to the pandemic everyone's going through. So whoever wants to talk about it, maybe let's just talk about the background of the song, which COVID Bunnies, by the way.
COVID
you guys
Bunny
want to take it first?
Yeah, I'll go for it. COVID Bunny it was actually written by a drummer, Ian Milne.
The sock puppet with the sunglasses, yeah, got it.
Yeah, it was written by the sock puppet. He wrote it fed up with COVID, I guess. And it's been a hard time and everyone just kind of wants the pandemic to fuck off, so to speak.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of really fitting. And we released it on Easter Day. So that's where COVID Bunnies, that's not why it's called COVID Bunnies, but it tied in really good together. So
Right.
It was an opportunity we could not miss.
How has this been for you guys to actually get together and record or practice or play music together? Have you been able to do that despite the kind of lockdown mode everyone's in?
We took our time in our lockdown. Like we had to compromise. We had to go outside. Ian had a new place in Carmen, so we just kind of like 6 feet it away.
Cool. And so is this the first formal release by the band too? Like, is this the first official thing that's come out?
Yeah,
it is. This is our first interview too, which is exciting.
Right on. Well, that's kind of a cool thing to do as your first release. To first of all, release it now when everyone's in this weird position where we're all stuck at home and no one's able to go anywhere to a show or anything. But then you also have the well, first of all, maybe let's talk about that. What is it like to release music during a pandemic? Because you can't, I know it's not an album, it's just a single, but you can't play a show and have people hear this on stage. You can't really control what happens with it. It just goes on the internet and hopefully people will respond positively to it, right?
I think that's why we were so quick to like make a music video for it, to give it like, to have those visuals and have like a digital physical presence, if that makes sense. So
okay.
Kind of, that makes any sense.
No, it does. Well, because everyone's having to try and figure out a way to be an active musician right now. So trying to find some way to go online with it is sort of everyone's struggle at the moment.
I think it's also one of those things where you just kind of want to put a smile on someone's face, because like we're all depressed right now. We're all hiding under our beds and we all need something to laugh at. And if that's us, Let's make that happen.
Is that kind of humor in the song and in the band name? Obviously, is that kind of what you guys go for in general, like having a sort of tongue-in-cheek, goofy kind of attitude towards things?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. No, I would say so. It's like obviously we like the music that we make and we put work into it, but it's
I
also
hope so,
not
yeah.
it's not trying to take ourselves too seriously and to have that edge of sort of humor to it and playfulness to it that I think, every time, like you saying that you're thinking of the name and it makes
Yeah.
you laugh. That's reactions we get from a lot of people, which is, in my mind, is good.
Totally, yeah. It is good for sure. So what's next then? I mean, you have this single out, this video out, and like everyone else, you can't really follow it up with a show or a tour or anything, right? So what is sort of next for the band now that you have a presence online where you have music that's officially out?
Do you mind if I take this one, boys?
Yeah,
Go
go
for
ahead.
it.
All right. So we have a plan because
Okay.
we know that COVID's not going away anytime soon. We need to compromise. So we're thinking singles and music videos throughout time. Because first of all, it's fun.
Sure,
Second of
yeah,
all,
that's a good reason.
memories. And
Is there a third of all? It seems like there was waiting for a third of all.
well, I think that it's worth it.
So just will this eventually kind of lead to a longer release, or are you just gonna sort of do singles for the foreseeable future until things straighten out if they do?
I would say albums eventually releasing singles and then, maybe 3-song, 4-song EP, something like that.
Okay.
And then, eventually a full-fledged release album, I think would be appropriate. But again, like I think it's good for single releases to at least have, especially now, to have an accompanying video and visuals with that.
Oh, totally, yeah.
Yeah, more relevant now than ever, I would think.
For sure, yeah.
We can't entertain them on stage. We'll put a video together because we are entertainers as well as musicians, right?
Right, that's part of it. That goes with the whole package, right? For sure. So what I hate asking this question because everyone hates answering it, but how do you define what it is you do? I mean, it sounds like punk rock, but it definitely has kind of 90s vibes to it, and it sounds a little bit grungy. How do you define it? Like, it's a shitty question, but if someone says, "Oh, hey, I hear you're in a band," what's the go-to answer?
I would say we try not to define it too much. Like, if once our other songs come out, you'll notice like there's some pretty big differences in like styles and genres and stuff. So we're not trying to put ourselves in a specific corner or anything. We just want to do what we do and make people smile, whoever that person may be, whether they like punk or whether they like chiller stuff or whatever. We just want to be accessible to everyone.
Yeah, well, I feel like that's the diplomatic answer that everyone has to give when I ask them this question, right? Because you don't want to pigeonhole yourself and be like, "Oh yeah, we're just this," especially because you're a relatively new band and you don't want to just say, "Oh, we're this kind of band," and then say 6 months from now you change your sound, right? You don't want to be stuck there. But I mean, I like to file things away neatly in my brain. Would you consider yourselves a punk band, or is that not accurate enough, I guess, descriptor?
We kind of had this discussion the other day, actually, and I think we fall more under the alternative kind of camp.
Okay. So you're picking the wider umbrella, the less specific.
Yeah.
I would like to say that there's no such thing as bad music, just bad context.
Okay.
So we just follow through whatever we're feeling, and if someone else feels that, that's the genre.
For sure.
Well, especially now, right? Because once because you can't play shows and you can't have that kind of one-on-one, not one-on-one, but direct interaction with an audience. They're seeing what you put out and they're interpreting it however they interpret it through the magic of the internet, right? So
absolutely.
So what's the reception been so far? I mean, the video is funny for sure, and I think that's probably going to help you guys get over. But have you had a positive response from people and listeners and stuff?
Oh yeah, it's been overwhelmingly positive. Go ahead, Devin.
I think the reception from people that we've shown and even people who have just kind of found it on their own, people seem to kind of get the sort of humor and frustration I think we were trying to get out with that song of just being stuck in lockdown and just being frustrated with being inside all the time. So just have a more lighthearted video, just kind of to help us as a creative outlet, but for also other people to enjoy that as well.
Okay. So where do people
seem to
Oh, sorry. Go
really-
ahead. Sorry to
Yeah,
interrupt.
sorry. I was just gonna say people seem to have really received it well. Like people just really love it. So I'm stoked about that.
Where can people find it? Is this? I know the video is out on YouTube, but is the song available for people to check out on some of the other audio only formats?
By the time this is out, it will be up on Spotify and all the streaming platforms. So just look up COVID Bunnies Fuck Off and you'll find us.
But spelled the way that the band spells it, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure if you type in COVID Bunnies Fuck Off, you might get something else that isn't you guys, but yes, for
Yeah,
sure.
I haven't tried that one yet.
And then in terms of just general information about you, because the good thing about a podcast is someone could hear it, a year from now. And by then, hopefully the pandemic's over and maybe you guys are more actively playing shows and things like that. What's the best place to go to find out information about what you're up to, just in general terms?
Madmark website.
Okay.
I am putting that out there. There is this website called madmarkproductions.com.
Okay.
It is fantastic. You can look through different tunnels and I don't know.
Various band pages. We have a page on there as well.
Oh, cool.
Twitter.
Okay.
These are
Yeah.
Lars who helped us film the video, and if you watch the music video, he's in the very intro. So he helps us a lot creatively as well with projects.
Definitely.
Cool. Well, one last thing I want to ask about the video is that, for your first release ever, it's kind of interesting that you have a video with such a long non-musical intro. Like half the video it's funny and it adds to the kind of storyline of the video, right? But there's this like big period of not even anyone talking really, and then the song kicks in. Was that a deliberate choice? I mean, it was obviously a deliberate choice, but when you were going into making the video, did you plan that ahead of time, or did you want to have the song sort of blasting off straight through?
I guess I'll take the lead on that. I the one that edited the video.
Okay.
We actually shot the video last summer, about when there was sort of a lull in the numbers.
Yeah, that brief period, that brief window. Yeah.
Yeah, so if you look in the video, a lot of people aren't wearing masks and are at restaurants, so it's kind of a weird glimpse back to around a year ago. But honestly, a lot of it was just kind of improvising that day and trying to get an idea of what it was going to look like as we did it.
Cool.
And initially, I was wanting the song to just be from the intro, that intro to play with it. But editing with it, it just seemed fitting for us, for there to be a bit of an extended intro, a bit of I don't know, like people know it's a music video, so then when it's like the first third of it is just talking and an intro, then I kind of like that it gets people wondering, okay, what's the song gonna sound like?
Yeah, where is the song, right? Yeah.
So that was definitely intentional.
Cool.
Also, you can't rip it off of YouTube without having that intro in it.
Right,
So
you have to actually sit there and edit the audio. Yeah.
We're sneaky, we know.
You're getting ahead of the pirates for sure. Yeah. Right on.